Hello, I am Roberto Ayala Cibaja from Group A, 8th semester. Currently, I'm doing my social service at the Self-Direct Learning Center, Campus 4 of Languages in Tapachula. And I'm going to tell about my research project. The title of my research is Creation of Worksheets based on reading skills of English for students of the Self-Direct Learning Center to provide guidance on self-learning. So I'm going to present my slides about this project and I'm going to be explaining step by step. In the first part we have the problem statement. In this part I identify a problem in the self-access center and I try to give a solution to this problem. One of the problems that I could identify during I was doing my social services was the lack of the worksheets for students of reading English. The lack of worksheets for students has many consequences. One of them is the stagnation of their learning and this causes lack of interest. And number one says students may find reading assignments less stimulating and maybe less motivated to actively participate. Students don't have material to work in the self-access center, so they don't have a reason to go and work. The number two is students will not have reading comprehension. This is another consequence that has students to face when they don't have material to work because they aren't practicing their reading skills, their reading ability. So as we know, when we are reading, when we are practicing a reading skill, it develops reading comprehension. Another thing that has is that it develops critical thinking skills on students. The lack of reading worksheets deprives them of valuable opportunities to practice reinforced critical literary skills. The number three is expanding vocabulary and developing fluency. This can lead to gaps in their reading abilities and hinder their overall academic achievement. Vocabulary allows students to express themselves more precisely and effectively. So, as we know, when we are developing, when we are practicing our reading skills, we are going to develop vocabulary. One of the best resources that students have to develop the vocabulary in English is reading. When you read books, when you read paragraphs in English, you are developing and expanding your vocabulary. One of the things that it has is that you develop fluency at the same time. The number four, lack of guidance. The students feel lost or unsure of how to approach reading assignments. They don't know how to do activities. They don't know maybe if they have a question about the vocabulary, if they have some doubts about it, if they don't know the meaning of a word, they need guidance. They need someone who can bring out. The number five, lack of guidance. With a worksheet, students might have fewer opportunities to explore different type of texts. This is something really important because students need to practice their ability, their skills of reading. When they don't have worksheets, when they don't have enough worksheets to work, they are losing opportunities to explore different type of tests. This is so important because students need to know what is the variety of the readings, what is the variety, the genres that the text has, that are part of such the type of lectures that there exist in English. So when they don't have worksheets, they are losing these opportunities. Now that I have talked about the problems that we have faced on the self-access center, now I'm going to talk about the general objective of the research. The general objective is to develop worksheets that enhance students' reading skills across different levels. The specific objectives about the general objective is create a diverse range of reading materials tolerant to different proficiency levels, interests, and age groups of students. Incorporate various genres such as fiction, non-fiction, poetry, and informational text to cater to different learning preferences and stimulate curiosity. Incorporate culturally relevant content to promote cross-cultural understanding and appreciation. Adapt the material to the needs of the students. Classifications. The importance of creating these reading English worksheets in the self-direct learning centers support students different opportunities to practice and improve the reading English skills. These worksheets that we are going to create will support students different opportunities to practice and improve the ability to learn to read in English. Our populations were students, women and men from 18 to 50 years old of both morning and afternoon shift who study in the Self-Direct Learning Center of the Language School Campus 4, Tapachula. About the pedagogical intervention, I made a couple of questions to the students, asking them about what they think about the worksheet that we have in the Self-Access Center. The 60% of the students answer that the worksheets that we have in the Self-Access Centers are not interesting. The most of them are bored because the topics that are on the worksheets are super boring because they are not topics about these days. So what we made is create reading worksheets according to the English level of the students. Number 2, creation of reading worksheets that motivate students to continue working on this skill. Integrate worksheets with vocabulary building, reading that focus on acquiring new words in context. Creation of digital and print distribution, create digital version of the reading worksheets. One of the important things that we did is that we don't only put the worksheet on physically. Instead of that, we did it in a platform. So in this way, students are able to have this worksheet with just one click. The benefits that we have in this research is that students now have enough material to work in the self-access centers. Besides, now students feel motivated to go and practice the reading ability, the reading skills in English, because the topics that we put on the worksheets are interesting now. We used to have worksheets that the topics were super boring. Now we put, as I mentioned before, worksheets that are super interesting. So in this way, students feel motivated to assist to the self-access center. The more important aspects about this project is that we identify a problem and we gave a solution. It's not only to find a problem in one area. Instead of that, you have to find a problem and give a solution about it. Made a pedagogical intervention and obviously give a solution and have good results about it. In this case was the lack of worksheets of reading in English in the self-access centers that were causing different problems in students. It has many consequences, but we identify the problem and we give a solution. We create worksheets that were according to the level of the students, and we create worksheets that were interesting for students.